This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Nearly half of all rural municipalities in the province are under local states of emergency tonight. Multiple areas are still struggling days and weeks after being battered by storms. From washouts and water to high winds, the damage is widespread. One of the communities hit lost its school's roof in a windstorm earlier this year, and now they're preparing to get hit by floodwaters. CBC's Michelle McDougall is in Sioux Valley with the latest.
A bird's-eye view of the Assiniboine River in Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation. The water has taken over the valley and is expanding. Chief Jennifer Bone says it's moving closer to homes and the community.
I think we've experienced some, pretty bad historical floods. So, our community members are aware of how bad that it can get.
The river looks calm, but Chief Bone says it's already flooded twice this year. So 3 days ago, she put the community on alert and declared a local state of emergency. That way, she says, everyone is on notice just in case.
They started sandbagging on Saturday morning and they worked throughout the day in the heat. Saturday and Sunday, they're continuing on. So they've been working steadily around the clock and just working in the areas of concerns.
Bone was born and raised in Sioux Valley. Her family's home flooded in the past, and she says she remembers how they only had minutes to grab their things.
It's a good thing that we were able to put our community members on days of notice, so at least they can have a bag packed and, make plans for pets and, and making sure that they have their medication or whatever essential items that they need.
This isn't the first run-in with Mother Nature. In mid-June, a powerful windstorm tore the roof off the elementary school. People rallied then, says the school's Crystal Hansen, and they're rallying now. She's been reassigned to the health committee.
So I would ensure that people coming in with vulnerable, health issues and that are being evacuated, and I would ensure that they were placed safely and without as much incident as possible.
The Assiniboine River is expected to crest here this weekend. Michelle McDougall, CBC News, Sioux Valley, Dakota Nation.
Meantime, frustration is mounting in the Swan Valley region tonight, where many say there's a lack of help and information. Late this afternoon, the province confirmed 10 members from a federal group that specializes in disaster response will be on the ground in the area Wednesday. Roads all around are washed out, including Highway 20, pictured here. In nearby Swan River, the mayor says he's nearing the end of his rope after waiting more than a week for federal help. People living in Pine Creek First Nation are struggling to get around. Some are finding ways to get around washouts through farmlands and risky detours, but it takes hours. Getting food and supplies into the area is difficult, if not impossible for many. They say there's no action or timelines for repairs.
Well, for Highway 20, there's no, as of yet, there's no work done on the repair. And it's been a week now, and we don't have a timeline on that. So it's for the foreseeable future, we're going to be using this long route for a while.
And pharmacy has been helping get life-saving medication like insulin to people via boat and provincial helicopter. Areas along the Manitoba-Ontario border are also cleaning up from a heavy storm that left a path of broken and uprooted trees.
Oh my God! Jeff! Oh my God!
This happened yesterday in West Hawk Lake near the Ontario border. The tree toppled over the home in the afternoon after it cracked in the wind. More trees also fell in parts of nearby Caddy Lake. Cottagers and campers say strong winds and heavy rain lasted for just under an hour. Environment Canada says Kenora recorded 94 millimeters of rain from the storm. No tornadoes have been confirmed yet. One day after two Canadian premiers unveiled a proposed oil pipeline across the prairies, Premier Wab Kinew still won't say what he thinks about it. CBC's Bartlett Kivas reports.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith admiring a map of a proposed cross-Canada oil pipeline. It would run from Alberta through Saskatchewan and Manitoba before it winds up in southern Ontario. Premier Doug Ford of Ontario and Saskatchewan Scott Moe are also on board. But Wab Kinu's support is questionable, even though Manitoba is in the middle of the map. Kinu did not sign on to a statement of support for this pipeline last summer. He said he'd prefer to consult with Indigenous nations first.
In other parts of the country with other levels of government, there's the commitment to maybe push things through with legislation first, and then that puts other partners on the back foot.
Canada's other populist premiers profess to be unconcerned. Kinu has yet to embrace the pipeline.
He has to consult a little more with his folks in Manitoba, but we'll work something out.
Speaking to reporters from Nunavut, Kinu wouldn't say what he thought of the proposed route.
You know, I love Alberta and I love Albertans, so anything we can do to wrap our arms around them and give them a big old hug, I'm open to.
In Winnipeg, reaction to the pipeline is mixed. The PC opposition says Kinu is missing out on economic opportunities.
While those serious conversations are happening, he's sitting at the kids' table asking for $5 billion of handouts of federal transfer payments from where? The provinces that are doing the serious work.
This environmental activist says there's nothing serious about this pipeline yet.
I mean, it's so important for people to recognize that this isn't a done deal. Some guy sitting in Alberta had this idea and was like, let's build one across the province.
The Assembly of Manitoba chief says no one has consulted them.
Nobody's going to be coming into First Nations, ancestral, traditional territories and moving any projects without the decision-making coming from our leadership.
Chief Cairo Wilson also said there have been no serious talks yet about a different pipeline, the proposed natural gas line to Churchill, a pipeline Wab Kinu actually wants. Bartlett Kivas, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Winnipeg City Council will be missing another familiar face after the election in October. Councillor Marcus Chambers announced today he won't run for re-election. He says the decision comes amid health challenges in his family. And as CBC's Cameron McLean explains, it marks yet another resignation of a long-time city councillor.
It's shaping up to be a year of change at Winnipeg City Hall as another city councillor announces plans to step down.
I'm here today to announce that I will not be seeking re-election as the city councillor for the St. Norbert, St. River Ward.
After 8 years on council, Marcus Chambers says he plans to step away to focus on his family.
My son has announced that my wife and I will be grandparents in December, and other priorities that have emerged.
Those priorities include caring for his wife of 34 years, Judith Chambers, who was diagnosed with cancer 2 years ago.
She knows how much, this role has meant to me over the years, the good, the bad, the ugly, and she's been there by my side for all of it.
Chambers became the first black person elected to Winnipeg City Council in 2018. Among his proudest achievements, serving as chair of the police board for 5 years and helping to hire new Winnipeg Police Chief Gene Bowers. Chambers says his wife would have supported him if he wanted to run again.
He really, truly loved the role. He really embraced the community, and so I wanted him to run. But in the end, I've had a few challenges lately, and his decision was to step back.
Mayor Scott Gillingham told reporters he would miss Chambers on council, but understood his decision.
We put a ton of time and energy and effort into our work because we are honored to be elected representatives. That comes at a cost, and the people that pay the price are our families.
The announcement from Chambers continues a series of resignations from longtime councillors. There are now 4 council members who have declared they won't run in October's election. John Orlico in River Heights, Fort Garry, Janice Lukes in Waverly West, and Brian Mays in St. Vital have also said they're not running, meaning Winnipeg City Council will look very different this fall. Cameron McLean, CBC News, Winnipeg.
All right, let's bring Riley in. Riley, at least in Winnipeg, a really nice day out there. Not too hot, not too cool, kind of a perfect summer day.
Yeah, and not too humid either, but don't worry, that's coming if you're a fan of the Heat and humidity, as expected, really south of Highway 3, for example, this afternoon. A few spotty showers through Melita, Boissevain into Killarney, really anywhere south of the Trans-Canada. This was a few clouds at best through the afternoon, with a few spotty scattered showers into that as well. Further north, still dealing with an air quality warning in place for the northwestern corner of the province. Really through the balance of the week, expect hazy or locally smoky conditions just because of the number of wildfires that we have burning in northern Manitoba, because it has been so hot and dry as of late. Temperatures this afternoon, 23 in Winnipeg, 22s to 25s into parts of the west. And we are looking at building heat and humidity right across the continent as we get through the next several days. Temperatures in parts of the states, Brittany, could top 45 or even 46 degrees. We'll get a taste of that in our neck of the woods as well. I'll have the details when I come back.
Thank you, Riley.
You're welcome.
The opening of Manitoba's first supervised consumption site has sparked concerns about how it might affect crime in the area. But what does the research say? Well, we take a deep dive into the issue after the break. The opening of Manitoba's first supervised consumption site this summer has sparked fierce debate about its potential impact on public safety and the people who use it. But beyond the politics and emotions, there's a growing body of research on what actually happens when these facilities open. Here's CBC's Ian Fraze on what we found.
We need to provide recovery. We need to help people out of this cycle of addiction, not provide a space to continue to consume drugs.
I believe harm reduction plays a role in helping people get to recovery. I don't think a safe injection site should be part of that role.
This is a place where kids grow, go to school, and work. We are a solid community, and we're going to stand for it.
The opening of Manitoba's first supervised consumption site at 366 Henry Avenue has been predictably controversial.
But will it make this neighborhood less safe? Let's find out. But first, the basics we know so far. West of Main Street and north of Logan, it's walking distance to several homeless shelters. According to Health Canada, the site will allow people to use the drugs they bring into the space safely, with supervision from trained professionals. Client data collected for Health Canada from 2020 to 2025 says users are more likely to be men. That same data says they're most likely to be consuming fentanyl. In Winnipeg, the number of opioid-related emergency calls has surpassed those for alcohol through the first part of 2026, a change from the previous 2 years, data from the Fire Paramedic Service shows. Experts like the head of social medicine at the University of British Columbia says the surge in opioid use in Winnipeg and across the country is dire.
We are in a public health crisis. Too many people are dying of preventable toxic drug poisonings, and we could do better. And these facilities have been shown to save lives.
Health Canada has documented 68,580 overdoses in supervised consumption sites across the country from January 2017 to November 2025, but nobody died.
The site is one of 10 the Ontario government is shutting down.
Other provinces have moved away from a harm reduction model, making the Manitoba decision to open one all the more controversial.
And I was just wondering how you would feel if I stuck one of these beside your house.
The province is, in Doug Ford's words, sticking one here. So will it make this neighborhood less safe?
A study published in January suggests supervised consumption sites were not associated with overall increases in crime rates in several Toronto neighborhoods. The study was conducted by researchers at McGill University and looked at incidents of crime within a 400-meter radius of 9 sites in Toronto from 2014 to 2025. The research used Toronto police data and looked at 7 types of crime: assault, auto theft, break and enter, robbery, theft over $5,000, bike theft, and theft from motor vehicles. What did they learn?
Opening of these new safe consumption sites, for the most part, had no effect or even a positive effect in crime rates in the area.
That outcome is consistent in a different Canadian study, this one focusing on the first supervised consumption site in North America in Vancouver.
It used Vancouver police data to examine crime rates in the neighborhood where the site is located in the year before versus the year after it opened. The researchers found no increases were seen with respect to drug trafficking or assaults and robbery, and there was actually a significant decline in vehicle thefts. Kerr says the conclusions in the research are consistent.
A large body of research which consistently shows that these facilities, they tend to have either no impact on crime or they reduce crime. And the vast majority of studies that have relied on objective measures of public disorder, things like discarded syringes and the number of people injecting in public, consistently show that these sites are associated with improvements in disorder.
Another aspect in a neighborhood that a recent study suggested is unchanged when a supervised consumption site is opened there is real estate values. The study, published in the American Journal of Epidemiology in March, explored the association of the opening of the first 2 supervised consumption sites in New York City with neighborhood residential rents and real estate sales in the East Harlem and Washington Heights neighborhoods. The end result said, Overall, we found no changes in neighborhood rental or sales prices.
So if the research suggests the impact is minimal, where does all the public outrage come from?
A UBC professor has studied that question. He says the visibility of addicts elicits emotions people prefer not to deal with.
The shame and guilt that many of us feel when we see this social, because it's so embedded in disparities and social inequalities that many of us would rather not, especially those of us who are doing reasonably well, we don't want to look at it.
He says changing the name to something like an overdose reversal site could even change people's gut reaction to the idea and put the focus on the issue as a public health crisis.
What name is going to evoke, because as I said, I think it's evoking that fear and disgust, and then the reasons come after the initial emotional response. So anything we can do to reduce that initial recoil that people might feel.
According to the Winnipeg Police crime map, this neighborhood already has a crime rate that's been climbing slowly over the last few years.
At this time next year, that data will be updated to show how this site, if at all, impacts the neighborhood. Ian Fraze, CBC News, Winnipeg.
All right, I'll start off where I left off last time around with the building heat south of the border, and this is going to drive the weather story really across the continent as we get toward the weekend here. So what we have setting up as we get into the weekend is a bit of a heat dome. Think of it like a boiling pot with the lid on it, just recirculating some of that heat as we get toward the weekend. Temperatures in parts of the southern states looking into the low to mid 40s as we get toward the weekend. We'll get a taste of some of this as we get through Saturday, Sunday into Monday across southern Manitoba. And if you like the humidity, that comes with some of that as well. As for today, a pretty general mix of sun and clouds across the province, certainly as forecast. Cloudier the further south you were with some showers along the international border throughout the day today. We will see that clearing out as we get through the night tonight. Building high pressure close to the surface, though, quickly pushes that cloud cover out. We'll start tomorrow under a mix of sun and clouds to even a mainly sunny sky across much of the province, and this will set us up for another very pleasant day across much of the province as we get through the day tomorrow. Our next weather maker, though, will be this incoming frontal boundary as we get through Thursday, and this could trigger some thunderstorms as we get through later Thursday into the day, into the early morning hours on Friday. So I've stopped here Thursday at 8 o'clock in the evening, and you can see really anywhere from Thompson right down through the Pas, Flin Flon, through the Parkland. Areas that, yes, do not need any more rain with how saturated things have been, with the potential of seeing some thunderstorms through the evening Thursday, that risk overnight into Friday morning through the Red River Valley and parts of the Interlake. And in behind this kind of opens up the floodgate for some of that heat and humidity to start pushing into much of southern and central Manitoba and really across parts of the southern prairies. So you can really see, looking at the forecast dew point temperatures, where things will feel once we get toward the weekend here. So pretty comfortable as we get through Wednesday, Thursday. But once that floodgate opens and we get some of that real moist, hot air from the states pushing in, we're starting to get our muggy meter here into the unbearable or oppressive range as we get toward the weekend. So take that into consideration with your weekend plans. Maybe you're going to Folk Fest. Remember, lots of water as we head through into the weekend. I'll talk about that coming up in your long range, your 7-day as well. Here's a look at your forecast quickly for Wednesday. 26s and 27s across much of southern Manitoba, and looking at temperatures very comfortable. Could be a bit hazy in northern Manitoba as well. We're back right after this.
As folkies get ready to descend on Birds Hill Park, those who haven't bought a ticket are out of luck. The Winnipeg Folk Festival is officially sold out. This is the 51st year for the music festival, and organizers say this is the first time it's been sold out before opening day. It gets underway on Thursday. FolkFest says tickets will not be available on site, and there are no additional tickets being released.
All right, I'll walk through some of the forecast highs for the weekend in just a moment here. I was talking a bit about the heat and the humidity, but first let's do your dog walking forecast, because you know what? We are looking at a pretty pleasant day as we get through the day tomorrow. Once again, a touch of humidity out there and temperatures that stay fairly seasonal. Here is Timmy, who I am sure will enjoy a very less humid walk tomorrow. Talk back at cbc.ca. Thank you, Brenda, for sending this picture in. I'd love to see yours as we get through the next few days here. As we look at your 7-day forecast, there's that risk of thunderstorms I mentioned going overnight Thursday into Friday. Temperatures at 29 by Friday. 30s and 31s as we get through the weekend. 32 into Monday, Brittany, and temperatures feeling closer to 40 by the time we get into the weekend. Well, most marathons are over in a few hours, but this one race held on a turkey farm just north of Steinbach lasted, get this, more than 2 days.
No thanks. It began with more than 70 runners testing how their bodies and minds could compete in a unique endurance event. And after 55 hours running the course, one Winnipegger took home the trophy. All right, that's 28-year-old Nick Burmy finishing his 55th lap after running more than 360 kilometers. The ultramarathon was held in Bloom North. Runners had to complete a 6.7-kilometer run in under 60 minutes every hour for as many hours as possible until only one runner remained.
I've done a lot of other types of ultramarathons, and this one was one that was local in Manitoba. And I just think the concept of talking with the same people every hour was very intriguing for me.
Burmy says he celebrated his win with a few slices of pizza and 0 alcohol beer. He now gears up for a national competition in October.
Good for him. I can't even stay awake for that long.
I'll give them this. That would be a very scenic run on a farm like that.
Exactly. Well done. Congratulations. Hope you're getting a nice rest. We'll see you back here tomorrow.